Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would show you how I do my makeup when I want full-on glam, full coverage foundation, false eyelashes, smoky eye, all of it. This is something that I enjoy doing when we're going to be going on like a date night, or how I did my makeup when we were out for the weekend with no kids. It's not something I do every day by any means, and I rarely ever put this much makeup on, but it is a lot of fun when I have the time to kind of play around and do it. So if you're interested in seeing how I do my makeup for a full glam look, then please keep watching. Okay, I'm going to start by pinning my hair back a little bit. In the last makeup tutorial that I did my face makeup first, but if I'm going to be putting on a lot of eyeshadow and dark eyeshadow, I like to do my eyes first just so that it doesn't fall all over my face after I'm done doing it. And when I do a full face of makeup, I actually like to take some Scotch tape and put it on the corners of my eyes so that I have like a sharp look when I take my eyeshadow off. So I rip off two little pieces and I put them on the back of my hand, and I rip them off a couple of times just so that it's not super sticky, and when I put it on my eyes it's not going to pull them too hard. So I kind of do a line from the lower lash line to where the tip of my eyebrow would go if I continued to connect it. Then I like to prime my eyelids with some sort of concealer or eyeshadow primer, so I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand to do this. Then I'll just take a concealer brush, this is from e.l.f., and I'll blend that out. Then I like to take some sort of powder, in this case the Physicians Formula translucent powder. I'm just going to take the same brush and I'm just going to basically set that whole area so that the eyeshadows will blend a little bit easier right on top. I'm going to do my eyebrows next, and I'm going to take my Maybelline Easy Brow Natural Taupe. I'm going to fill my eyebrows in before I do my eyeshadow. I'm basically going to do like a line along the lower side of my natural brow shape, and then I'm going to do a line on top and basically blend it in with a spoolie. Then I'll just take the other end and kind of comb through and make sure it's all blended together. Then I'm going to move on to eyeshadow, and I'm going to take my Lorac Pro Matte palette and I'm going to go with this shade and this shade here. This is Latte and Pink Mauve. Tap off the excess and start working through my crease area and slightly above my crease because I have kind of hooded eyes, so this will give the illusion that I don't. And the nice thing is because the tape is there, I don't have to worry about being too messy. Then I'm going to take my e.l.f. crease brush, which is a very similar shape but it's just a little bit more dense. I'm going to go with the next dark color here, and that's Corduroy. This is a very pigmented eyeshadow palette, so I don't need a lot. And again, I'm going to kind of do the same thing but be a little bit more precise, but go slightly above where my natural crease would be. And then a lot of times, because I have the tape there, I like to kind of flick this out here at the end, and then it'll give it a little bit more of a cat eye shape. Then using the same brush, I'm just going to dip a little bit into the black and go right in the corner of my eye and blend it outwards. Then I'll go back with a little bit of Corduroy and Latte to kind of blend the transition from the black to my lid. You could certainly leave it there, but I like to do a little bit of shimmer, so I'm going to take a face highlighter from Becca in Moonstone and a flat shader brush. I'm going to go right on my inner corner lid with that. And then I go underneath my brow bone with the same shade. Then I take the tape off and I have a nice clean line. Then I do my eyeliner, and the nice thing that because the tape created a nice line for us, I can basically just follow that when I do my eyeliner. This is a L'Oreal Carbon Black. I don't remember what the name of this was, but I will leave it in the description box. And I'm going to follow from inner corner to outer corner, flick it out at the end, and I'm going to try to keep it really thin on the inside of my eye and get thicker as I get to the outside. And I'm going to put false eyelashes on, so I'm actually not too concerned about how even they are because they're pretty much going to get hidden when I put the eyelashes on. I just like to do eyeliner on the top when I wear false eyelashes to kind of hide any spots where the eyelash is not connected perfectly. So I'm going to be using some drugstore eyelashes. These are Ardell Naturals. The pair that I'm going to be using I've already worn once. So I like to take the Duo Lash Glue, and I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but I find it's easiest to apply when I do a thin line over the eyeliner once it dries as well as on the eyelash. Seems to adhere a little bit better that way. So I take the eyelash and the lash glue and I just do a thin line right on the band and a thin line right over my eyeliner, but I'm going to wait just a second for that to dry. And this takes about 30 seconds to dry. I'm gonna see if I can get this on camera. I'm gonna set this on top of my eye and then push each corner in. It helps if you have a tweezer so you can kind of push it in. One eye done. So then I move on to the rest of my face, and I'm going to use the same e.l.f. primer that I did before. This is the poreless primer. And I'm going to be using my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation. This is what I use when I want my face to be very covered and when I want my makeup to last a really long time. And this is in 2W1 Tawny. It doesn't normally come with a pump. I just added a pump from one of my other foundations. I pump a little bit on the back of my hand. And again, when I want a full coverage, I use a brush. So this is an angled flat top brush. And I basically just apply that all over my face. I got this brush from Amazon and I'll link it down below. Okay, once I have my base on, I'll move to concealer. I'm using Tarte Shape Tape. I have one in Fair Neutral and one in Light Sand, which is a little bit more like my skin tone, and I'm gonna go over any problem areas that still aren't totally covered. And underneath my eyes, and then I like to highlight my face. Fair Neutral is very light, so I just do a little bit of that to brighten under my eyes a little bit. Then I always do my concealer with a sponge, so this is the L'Oreal sponge. Once that is blended, I am going to look up so that I don't make creases in my eyes. I'm going to take my loose powder from Maybelline and apply that here. This is called baking, so that the concealer won't crease, it will last longer. And then I just leave the excess powder sit there for a couple of minutes while I powder the rest of my face. I'm going to take the e.l.f. Flawless Face Brush and just pick up a light amount of that powder, dust off the excess in the cap, and apply that to the rest of my face kind of sparingly. And that's just mainly because my face gets really oily. This was also kind of like the same idea with the eyeshadow. I like to set the foundation with a powder so that I can apply my bronzer and blush more evenly on top. Now I'm going to take just like a fluffy tapered brush and dust away any of the excess powder from underneath my eyes. Next I'm going to contour using my NYX Cheek Contour Duo Palette and my knockoff NARS Ita brush. This is really good for contouring. Pick up some of that on the brush. Basically just draw a line from the top of my ear to where the corner of my mouth would be. That's where I want to create the illusion of a more defined cheekbone. I'm also going to take a little bit around the perimeters of my face because I have a really round head, so this will give the illusion that I have a slimmer face. And then I take a really light amount on the sides of my nose and brush it inwards, and a little bit under my lip to make it look like my lip is bigger. Then I take a bronzer, which is basically the same idea, but it has a little bit more of a warm tone to it. Take the same e.l.f. brush and kind of apply that above the contour shade, just to kind of blend it in a little bit more and make it look a little bit more natural. And then I take a little bit around my jawline. Then I take the blush on this side and go right above my bronzer contour shade on my cheeks. I don't always, but I am going to highlight my face today, so I'm going to take the same tapered brush and that Becca Highlighter and go right on top of all three of those colors that I applied previously to my cheekbones, a little bit on my nose, my Cupid's bow right above my lip, and then I like to take a little bit of this on that same flat shader brush and go in the inner corners of my eye. And I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs black eyeliner and go on my lower waterline and then blend it out with some eyeshadow. I do this mainly to help balance out all of the depth that I have going on top of my eyes with the false eyelashes. So I'm going to take a little bit of latte on a packing brush and kind of blend that in. This will also help set the eyeliner. I like to set my face before I apply my mascara just so that it doesn't transfer. I haven't tried this yet, but I picked this up this weekend. This is the Revolution Oil Control Setting Spray. I'm supposed to shake it up, and I apply a little bit of that. Oh, that has a weird smell to it. Then I'm going to take my mascara, and this is the Voluminous Miss Manga mascara from L'Oreal. I'm going to do a little bit on my top eyelashes, mainly just to stick my natural lashes to the falsies and kind of help blend them together. And then I'm going to do my lower lashes as well. I am not a huge lip person, but when I do, I really like to wear like non-transferring lip colors. So today I'm going to be taking my Milani Amore. Okay, so at some point there, my camera shut off, and I'm hoping that too much of that didn't get cut out. But anyways, this is pretty much what I do when I want to have like a full face, full glam look when I'm either gonna be like filming or taking pictures, or I'm in a wedding, or I'm going on a date night. This is kind of what I do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.